When my girlfriend led her team to win the National College Debate Championship, the secret about my stutter was dug up and exposed to the world. Her fanboys cornered me in the gym storage room, taunting me and saying I wasn't good enough for her. In the past, she was always by my side, chasing away anyone who mocked me. But this time, she refused to answer my call. I was forced to recite tongue twisters while they poured soapy water down my throat. I walked back to my dorm, soaked to the bone. That's when I found out she was at the victory party with her teammates, accompanied by a sophomore from the Glee Club. She had once praised him, saying he sang like a nightingale. I guess it's time for me to leave. The humiliation. My mouth was full of soapy water. When the hand gripping my chin finally let go, I instinctively retched and threw up. Hey, listen to that. He doesn't stutter when he pukes, haha, someone jeered. He acts so mysterious and aloof usually, never speaking. I actually thought he was some cool, silent heartthrob. Laughter erupted around me. A few guys were standing around, loosely bundled up in hoodies and masks. They claimed to be superfans of my girlfriend, Miranda. Yesterday, the finals of the two major universities' debate competition were live-streamed. As the team captain, Miranda performed brilliantly, gaining countless fans overnight. Social media comments were blowing up. The third speaker is gorgeous, and her logic is flawless. A true MVP. I wonder what kind of guy is good enough for her. She has a boyfriend. He's the mysterious campus hunk at our school, named Ethan. Ethan. Mysterious? Please. I was his high school classmate. He stutters if he talks too fast or too much. That's the only reason he keeps his mouth shut. For real. How is a guy like that good enough for Miranda? That same night, a few of Miranda's campus fanboys faked a message from a professor to trick me into coming to the equipment room. They tried to force me to read tongue twisters. When I refused, they started pouring soapy water into my mouth. I found a split second to dial my emergency contact. But the moment the call went out, one of them slapped the phone out of my hand and kicked it across the floor. The beeping of the connecting call hammered against everyone's chest. The screen lit up with Miranda's name. The circle of guys looked visibly nervous. Does Miranda really not like him anymore? She usually treats Ethan pretty well. Do you think she'll be pissed if she finds out? Yeah, what if she answers? But almost immediately, the call was declined. Everyone let out a sigh of relief except for me. My heart hit rock bottom. TCH, thought Miranda liked you so much. She definitely thinks you're annoying. That's why she hung up. I spoke slowly, enunciating every single word to refute them. You are lying. She is busy. One guy picked up my phone and pulled up Miranda's number again. I'll call her from my own phone. Let's see if she's actually busy or just avoiding you. This time, the phone rang twice and was picked up immediately. Hello. Who is this? A hand clamped over my mouth, stifling any sound. The guy holding the phone turned a bit red and didn't dare speak. Then a boy's voice came through the speaker, crisp and melodic. Miranda, come up on stage and say a few words. Let us admire our MVP's grace one more time. Miranda responded with a soft, okay, her tone laced with an indulgent sweetness I knew too well. Then the call ended. Make him do the tongue twisters. If he doesn't, keep pouring the soap. Get some pepper water too. Little stutterer, if you dare snitch when you get back, I'll post the video of you talking online. Let everyone see that our MVP's boyfriend can't even get a sentence out straight. Pathetic. The past. I wasn't born with a stutter. When I was little, I was articulate, reciting ancient poems with a bobbing head, earning praise from all the adults. Until I was 9. Miranda woke me up from a nap. We snuck away from the adults and ran to the river to play. Miranda slipped and fell into the water. She choked, panicked, and looked like she was sinking. I was terrified. I ran all the way back, crying and screaming for adults to save her. In my panic, my language system seemed to crash. The words came out broken. Save. Save. Miranda. Later, when they pulled her out, I couldn't stop convulsing with sobs. She was fine, but the shock broke something in me. I became a stutterer. The doctor called it a stress response, a psychological issue that regular medicine couldn't fix. Miranda felt guilty. So all through school, she never left my side. She protected me. To avoid repeating sounds, I got into the habit of speaking slowly, word by word. The rhythm sounded strange, and other kids would mimic me, laughing behind my back. Miranda would get angrier than I did. She fought with so many people for my sake. Worried she'd get into conflicts, I spoke less and less. We accompanied each other through middle school, high school, all the way to the summer after graduation. Miranda stood in front of me and said, "Ethan, my feelings for you aren't just guilt." We started dating. The only thing I was better at than her was academics. My SAT scores were high enough to get me into a top-tier university. But I didn't dare go alone. For years, I had been too ashamed to open my mouth. I barely communicated with anyone. I had no friends and had basically lost my social skills. It felt like I only had Miranda. A strange campus without Miranda by my side would be hell. So when Miranda suggested we stay at the local university together, I agreed. College wasn't like high school. There was more freedom, and I lived relatively comfortably. Miranda joined clubs and made lots of new friends. She never introduced us. She said I wouldn't adapt well. So I just quietly read my books. Knowledge, after all, doesn't mind if you stutter. Until now. Because I rarely spoke, people labeled me as aloof or high maintenance. When that disguise was ripped away, I was met with intense malice. I think I'm starting to regret following Miranda here. Maybe Miranda regrets it too. The aftermath. The group finished filming their video and left. I slowly stood up and walked back to the dorm in my soaked clothes. When I entered, my roommate just glanced at me, then turned his head away. I peeled off the wet clothes and took a shower. When I lay down on my bed, my phone pinged. It was a message from Miranda. "Ethan, I was busy with something just now, didn't see the call." "Okay. Don't be mad. I didn't ignore it on purpose. Let's go to that new aquarium near campus tomorrow, okay?" I didn't reply. "Ethan." I stared at the screen for a while before typing back. "Miranda. I know. You were at the victory party tonight. Did you think bringing me would be embarrassing?" The typing indicator stayed on for a long time. Then Miranda called. "Ethan, how can you think that? I just know you don't like those kinds of social situations. I didn't ask you to come to protect you. But you brought that guy you mentioned before. The one named Cameron. You've mentioned him more than once. You said he sings well." I spoke very slowly, word by word, but I still couldn't help repeating a few syllables. My roommates looked up at me. Because of my speech, Miranda and I usually texted. We rarely called unless it was urgent. If she truly hadn't seen the call, that would be one thing. But I knew she saw it. She just didn't want to answer the phone in front of her teammates and Cameron. She didn't want to hear my stuttering voice in a moment like that. Cameron was lively, confident, and had a beautiful voice. He was presentable. I wasn't. She thought I was shameful. Miranda's voice sounded a bit panicked as she kept explaining. "Ethan, no, it's not like that. Cameron just really loved our debate match, and he wanted to come to the event. It was just a casual thing, so I brought him along." Maybe realizing her excuse was weak, her voice got quieter and quieter. Finally, she sighed. "Ethan, it's late. Can you just sleep? We'll go to the aquarium tomorrow. I'll explain everything properly and make it up to you." I gave a faint, "Okay." It was just as well. I wanted to talk to her about leaving the school. Unfortunately, Miranda didn't show up the next day. Waiting. I waited at the aquarium entrance for over an hour. Miranda had gone MIA. My messages sank like stones in the ocean. I called again and again, but no one answered. I didn't know her friends, and I didn't have their contact info. It hit me then. I didn't have a single mutual contact with Miranda in my phone. It seemed that ever since that guy Cameron appeared, Miranda was rarely by my side. I crouched down, hugging my knees, and aimlessly scrolled through my phone. That's when I saw a video posted by someone on the school's confession wall page. In the video, my girlfriend was hugging another guy. The comments were full of people saying how moving the grand chorus was today. I tapped on the video. Cameron was participating in the campus singer competition today. But when he got on stage, he couldn't sing a single word. It looked like he'd lost his voice. In the video, he stood helplessly on stage, looking around as if waiting for someone. A moment later, Miranda rushed in. She sprinted to the side of the stage and grabbed a microphone from a staff member. Miranda, articulate and logical, explained to the crowd that Cameron had practiced until midnight every night for this competition, causing vocal strain and temporary loss of voice. She called on everyone to clap the beat for Cameron and help him finish the song. Miranda was popular on campus. People listened to her. Gradually, the clapping became synchronized, and the scene turned into a massive sing-along. Perhaps relaxing helped, because Cameron's voice finally came back enough to finish the song reasonably well. The cheers were deafening. The atmosphere was electric, and the judges were deeply moved. They called it true school spirit and even gave Cameron a special award. In the video, the moment the song ended, Cameron rushed off the stage and hugged Miranda. Miranda brushed the hair from his forehead, her eyes filled with a gentleness that stung my soul. The video ended. Just as the playback finished, I finally saw Miranda running toward me, late. Her forehead was covered in sweat. "I'm so sorry, Ethan. I'm late." I didn't speak. I just looked at her quietly. I didn't talk much usually anyway. This was our normal dynamic. But for some reason, she seemed agitated today. "Ethan, can you please say something? It makes me panic when I can't hear your voice." "Is that so?" I thought, finding it funny. "Are you panicked because you can't hear me, or because you have a guilty conscience?" I rubbed my thumb against my phone screen and said to her, "I saw the video." It took Miranda a moment to realize what I meant. Her expression became complicated. Usually so logical and precise, she suddenly seemed incoherent. Cameron suddenly messaged me saying he lost his voice. I only rushed over to help him. You know how important this competition was to him. Plus, he's never dealt with something like that before, with so many people watching. Ethan, have some empathy. Think about when you first started stuttering. Remember how hard that was? That comment tore open a scar. But Miranda clearly didn't realize it. She was still defending herself. "Ethan, being late was my fault. But I just don't understand why you're so hostile toward Cameron. I know you don't have friends and don't understand friendship. But do you have to control who my friends are too? Do you insist on making me just like you? I might be a stutterer, but I'm not disabled." I couldn't out-talk her, but my hands worked fine. I tore the seal off the boba tea I was holding and splashed it directly into Miranda's face. Enunciating every word, I said to her, "Miranda, next time, before you speak, use your brain. Know what to say and what not to say." Miranda stood frozen, letting the tea drip from her hair onto the ground. Her fists clenched and unclenched. Finally, she gave me a deep look, turned around, and walked away. The transfer. After Miranda left, I received a call from the university administration. "Hello, Ethan, regarding the transfer materials you submitted previously, we need to verify something. Are you certain you want to transfer?" This time, I didn't stutter. I spit out 2 words with absolute certainty. "I am." Miranda and I were in a cold war. She sent me a message saying we both needed to cool off. She still insisted I was too prejudiced against Cameron. "Ethan, if you can't accept my friends, then I can't accept you right now either. I hope you understand that life is made of many parts. I can't just revolve around you all day. And I hope you understand, after all these years, I'm really tired." Honestly, I didn't understand. I never begged her to take care of me. When I first started stuttering, I didn't actually feel that much about it. I thought if I gave it time, it might get better. It was Miranda who saw me like that and started crying, wailing about how she had ruined my life. She even said if no one wanted to marry me, she would. Later, she was the one who confessed to me, saying she loved me, not just out of guilt, but a mix of love born from kinship and friendship since childhood. I thought we would spend our lives together. Unfortunately, the world is full of temptations. I sighed, forcing myself to ignore these troubles. I focused entirely on my transfer. During the second semester of freshman year, Miranda had started getting obsessed with socializing and was often away. That was when I first thought about transferring. I gathered a lot of information online. Transferring universities is hard, but not impossible. My original SAT scores met the requirements for my dream school. I just needed to coordinate everything and have some funds ready. Miranda didn't know this, but since starting college, I'd written quite a few articles. With some luck, several were published in prestigious magazines. It gave me a decent little savings account, so I wasn't broke regarding transfer fees. I wanted a change of environment. I wanted to see what kind of person I could be without her. While I waited for the transfer to process, Miranda and Cameron's relationship progressed rapidly. They were like Siamese twins. Where one went, the other followed. You could always see their shadows side by side on campus. They both talked a lot, had the same hobbies, and laughed together. They truly looked like a couple in the honeymoon phase. Unlike when Miranda and I got together, because we were too familiar, nothing really changed from before we were dating. Whenever one of them posted on social media, the other would like it within minutes and leave a flirtatious comment. The reason I could see their interactions was that on the first day of our Cold War, Cameron added me as a friend. He messaged, "Do you know Miranda has always blamed herself for your condition? All these years, she's been suffering inside." From Cameron, I learned that Miranda had hunted down that high school classmate who called me a stutterer online. She called everyone in her contacts to find him and threatened to make him pay if he didn't delete the comment. But you are a stutterer. You can't just gag everyone in the world, right? It's been so many years, and Miranda is still in pain because of your stutter. I was the one who told her to let it go, and she finally felt a bit better. If you really love her, you shouldn't be unable to tolerate my existence. Ethan, don't be weird and petty. Do you seriously not realize you've always been a burden to her? My mouth might be slow, but my typing is fast. I guess I'm what people call a keyboard warrior. Burden or not, if I hadn't saved her back then, she wouldn't be alive to be burdened by me, let alone stand here listening to you drive a wedge between us. Naturally, Cameron got mad. Miranda called and told me to apologize to him. I ignored her. Our Cold War extended indefinitely. Until the day I stepped onto the grounds of a different university. The breakup. Only then did Miranda realize I was gone. Where are you? Why did your roommate say you moved out? I replied seriously, I transferred. Are you crazy? Why would you transfer? How could you not tell me about something this big? I sighed. Miranda, I am an independent individual. I can choose my own life. Besides, my transferring isn't hard to understand. My grades were good enough for a better school. I want to pursue that. There is nothing wrong with that. That was probably the longest string of sentences she'd heard from me since I started stuttering. She forced herself to listen patiently, but then rebutted with disapproval. So what if you can go to a better school? Ethan, you aren't like normal people. You need someone by your side. You can't even speak clearly. How are you going to survive in college? I was silent for a moment, then said earnestly, Miranda, I just stutter. I'm not mute. And even if I were mute, I'd have the right to enjoy life freely. It might be harder than for normal people, but I'm not afraid. You say you're not afraid, but when you get bullied, I'm the one who has to fix it. Hurry up and ask the school if you can transfer back. Your parents won't agree to this either. Ethan, can you stop making people worry so much? I interrupted her complaining. Miranda, I already told my parents. They support me. It was true. Since the stutter started, I communicated less with my parents too. Usually, they just looked at me with heartbreak, speaking cautiously to avoid triggering my sadness. When I applied for college and said I wanted to go to the same school as Miranda, they didn't object. But when I talked to my dad earlier, he told me, Ethan, your mom and I never dared to say what was best for you. When you chose to go with Miranda, we worried, what if she changed her mind? But we also worried, what if you went to a new school alone and got bullied without telling anyone? But no matter what, Mom and Dad support your decision. You didn't do anything wrong. You did a good thing. The stutter is just an illness. It's not your fault. Deciding to transfer makes us think you are very brave. Remembering my parents' words gave me the courage to debate the best debater. I pushed down the bitterness in my chest. My speech was slow, but my tone was firm. I'm not afraid. Even if they laugh at me, I'm not afraid. I did nothing wrong. I shouldn't feel ashamed. Miranda, let's break up. I never blamed you for what happened, and you don't need to carry such a heavy burden. Maybe we both need to choose our own new lives. A new beginning. I moved into my new dorm. Standing in front of the door, I took several deep breaths. I repeatedly practiced the self-introduction I had prepared. Just as I gathered the courage to knock, the door swung open. A guy holding a basketball looked up at me in surprise. "Ha, new roommate." Then from behind him, some unknown creature seemed to emit a high-pitched screech of excitement. Thump, thump sounds followed, like someone jumping from a bunk bed to the floor. Ah. Finally. The professor said a handsome guy was coming. "Quick, don't just stand there, come in. Are you tired from the trip? Why didn't you tell us earlier? We could have come down to help with your luggage." I was ushered into the room, and the intro I'd rehearsed vanished from my mind. I just stuttered through a greeting. Hello. Everyone. One roommate, clearly having no concept of personal space, patted my cheek. Damn. Seriously handsome. I got even more nervous, and the stutter kicked in hard. I'm Ethan. Anyway, I hope to get along with everyone. That's the handsome guy for you. Even his way of talking is unique. I like it. I'm Wyatt. You haven't eaten, right? There's a spicy hot pot place on the second floor of the cafeteria that is amazing. Tons of sesame sauce. Put your stuff down. Let's go. Yeah, if you don't like hot pot, we have other recommendations. Our cafeteria is famous. After we eat, we can show you around campus. I looked at the eager faces of the boys in front of me and smiled slightly. It seemed my new life at the new school wasn't going to be as terrible as I imagined. Actually, it was going to be great. The new couple. The day after I broke up with Miranda, she and Cameron officially got together. Cameron posted a photo on his socials. It was a picture of their shadows overlapping. The caption read, "Want to be intertwined with you every moment." In the following days, Cameron showed off their relationship constantly. When Cameron sang, Miranda would be in the audience, clapping along with a look of pure adoration. When Miranda led her team in debates, Cameron would dress up, eyes sparkling, cheering for her from the stands. In a post-match interview, the host asked Cameron, "Your girlfriend is so good at debating. What happens if you argue? You'll never win." Just as Cameron looked awkward, not knowing how to answer, Miranda walked over, interlaced her fingers with his, and took the microphone. "There's no scenario where he can't win an argument, because no matter who is wrong, I'll just unconditionally let him lecture me." They smiled at each other. To anyone watching, they looked like two people deeply in love. Cameron clipped that interview and posted it to his social media. Overnight, the college couple's popularity skyrocketed. Striking while the iron was hot, Cameron moved their sweet daily interactions from private posts to public platforms like TikTok. In a few days, they gained nearly 100,000 followers. Comments poured in. "She's pretty, he's handsome, both talented. I ship it." Maybe because of the algorithm, Cameron's new video, posted a minute ago, was pushed right to my feed. Unsurprisingly, it was more couple content. I casually opened the comments, expecting praise. But the top comment was about me. Didn't someone say Miranda's boyfriend was a stutterer before? What happened? Did she swap him out? I rubbed my finger over the screen. By the time I refreshed, the comment was gone. Cameron had deleted it. I sighed and logged out of my social media accounts. I didn't want to pay attention to this anymore. I got up and went to the cafeteria with my roommates. I was adapting well to life at the new school. I proactively told my roommates about the childhood trauma that caused my stutter, saving Miranda. I had braced myself for mocking or pitiful looks. That's how people usually reacted. Result: they started worshipping me. Whoa, Ethan, that means you're seriously kind-hearted. You were that desperate to save someone. Yeah, I gotta say, knowing the backstory makes hearing you talk sound kinda cool now. Because of their encouragement, I gradually became more confident. I talked and laughed more, and I called my parents more often. Life was getting better day by day. Until I found out that the video of me being bullied had been uploaded to the internet. The exposure. Miranda and Cameron were getting famous. As couple influencers, they even landed a sponsorship for electric toothbrushes. I guess the guys who bullied me before couldn't stand it. They were jealous of me before, and now they were jealous of Cameron. So out of spite, they released the video. But they used a burner account, and they altered the audio so only my voice was recognizable. They cut out the bullying part, leaving only the segment where I called Miranda. In the video, you could clearly hear Miranda hanging up on me. But immediately after, she answered a call from a stranger's phone. Cameron's voice is unique and easy to recognize. Their tone was intimate. Combined with their current status as a couple, it made people think. The account posted the video with a long caption accusing Cameron of being a homewrecker who inserted himself between Miranda and me. That night was the victory party. Miranda brought Cameron along and refused to answer Ethan's call. As Ethan's friends, we can't watch this anymore. We hope Cameron has some shame and breaks up with Miranda. Miranda still had hype from her competition, and Cameron was a micro-influencer. The video was immediately shared by tons of students. The situation escalated. Cameron, who usually posted constantly, went silent. I was actually curious what they would do. Then I got a call from Miranda. She said, "Ethan, can you post a video saying that night at the party, you asked me to bring Cameron?" The dorm was quiet. I heard my own voice. Why? Why? Do you know how bad Cameron's mental state is right now? And we technically got together after we broke up, so how is that cheating? Plus, your friends caused this mess. I didn't explain my relationship with those bullies. Because while I was on the phone with Miranda, a familiar sound came from my room. It was the sound of me choking on soapy water, being grabbed by the hair and forced to stutter. Wyatt was sitting next to me on his phone. When I looked over, he frantically tried to close the video. Realizing I'd already seen it, he stopped struggling and hugged me, his eyes red with anger and sympathy. His phone screen showed a trending hashtag, #Miranda ex-boyfriend bullied. Someone had uploaded the full video. Previously, while Miranda and Cameron were scrambling to prove their innocence, the internet's focus had shifted. People questioned the first video. This looks edited. And doesn't Ethan look weird? His clothes are soaking wet. Yeah, and what college students hang out in a gym storage room? Something's off. While they were suspicious, another account released the unedited footage. The uploader claimed to be a roommate of the bullies who couldn't stand them anymore. He said they bullied him too. He waited until they were asleep, unlocked one of their phones, and posted the evidence to free himself and help me. I don't have any followers, so I was scared no one would see it if I just posted about myself. So I posted Ethan's video, hoping the public would help me escape these guys too. I watched the video. My eyes were terrified. I was stuttering at a phone screen, reading tongue twisters they found online. Every time I read a line, they laughed. In the video, my eyes were red, my voice choking. But only I knew I wasn't crying because I was being bullied. I was crying because I had seen the future of my relationship with Miranda. I watched it twice. My roommates surrounded me, looking helpless. Wyatt finally took the phone away. I looked up. He was crying. "Ethan, don't watch it. Who did this? We'll find them. How can people be this messed up?" Maybe Miranda saw the video too. The call I had hung up on rang again a while later. I didn't pick up. Then her messages flooded in. "Ethan, please answer. I didn't know you were bullied that night. Why didn't you tell me? Is that why you transferred and broke up with me? Because you got bullied on my account?" But you'll get bullied at the new school too. Come back, please. I promise I'll take care of you like before. No, I'll do even better. I muted her. I scrolled through the comments. Sympathy, mockery, anger. Everything was there. I turned to my roommates. I want to make a video. My response. It was night, so the lighting wasn't great. My roommates hyped me up from the sidelines. We uploaded it immediately. Wearing a shirt my roommates dug through 4 closets to find, I smiled at the camera and spoke slowly. I am Ethan. I have had a stutter since I was 9. I don't think this is shameful. And I don't think I deserve to be bullied or mocked for it. On the contrary, I think the people who bullied me are the ones with the problem. They look like normal people on the outside, but their hearts are incomplete. They are rotting and foul. One look at their souls would make you sick. They are the ones who deserve the world's ridicule and contempt. The old me was afraid to speak, afraid to make friends. I took the malice others threw at me and accepted it as something I deserved. I was punishing myself for other people's mistakes. But now I understand. The world is big. It is your hearts that are small. I still spoke in broken segments, word by word. But so what? It's kind of unique, isn't it? That's just Ethan's way of speaking. The video sparked a massive conversation. The hashtag the world is big your heart is small hit the trending list. Many influencers stood up to speak for me. People shared their own stories of being bullied. I got really fat as a kid because of hormone shots for an illness. I was bullied every day, called a pig. But I was just sick. My mom sold seafood. I always smelled like fish. They called me rotten jellyfish. Even the teacher laughed. I lost my legs in an accident. They called me half pint and said I wasn't even as tall as a pig. I decided that even if I was only half a person, I'd live better than those whole people. I taught myself dance. I bought my mom a house. I think I'm awesome. Ethan, little bro, you're awesome too. Due to the public pressure, the school expelled the students who bullied me. After the storm settled a bit, Miranda and Cameron's couple account updated again. Cameron looked haggard, eyes red, looking very pitiful. First, he clarified the cheating allegations. When Miranda and I got together, they had already broken up. There was no affair. I saw Ethan's video, and I sympathize with him. Then he pivoted to say I was destroying his relationship with Miranda. But that shouldn't be a reason for everyone to give him a free pass. Miranda finally moved on, but because of this bullying incident, she's been dragged back by the memories. Just because Ethan saved her as a kid, does she have to owe him her entire life? Now my relationship with her is suffering. Because of her guilt toward Ethan, she can't eat, and she even brought up breaking up with me. Shouldn't Ethan feel guilty about that? This backfired. The internet roasted him. Bro, I get it. I'm a gaslighter too. Are you psycho? What guilt? You mean the guilt where she introduced you to her team while dating Ethan, took you to the party, and ignored Ethan's call because she was feeling guilty? Talk about biting the hand that feeds. If not for Ethan, your girlfriend would be 6 feet under. The netizens were furious, but technically there wasn't hard proof that Miranda was cheating with Cameron while we were dating. Taking him to the party was a public event. Just then, my old roommate stepped up. I was Ethan's roommate. Back when Ethan and Miranda were still dating, I went to the track to work out and accidentally saw Cameron kiss Miranda. She didn't push him away immediately. Also, I can confirm Ethan came back soaked that night. It must have been the night of the bullying party. The internet exploded. It ended with Cameron deleting his account. The brands they worked with issued statements distancing themselves, likely demanding compensation. Miranda kept calling me. I never answered. Later, I saw her at the gate of my new school. She looked worn out. Seeing me, her lips parted, but no words came out. I spoke first. Miranda, did you need something? She was silent for a moment, eyes tearing up. Ethan, I was wrong. That night, I just wanted to walk him back to the dorm, but he started talking about his family trauma. I felt bad for him, so I walked with him on the track. When he kissed me, I did push him away. I waved my hand, signaling I didn't care. I tried to walk past her, but she grabbed my arm, her voice trembling. Ethan, I used to think I had to stay by your side to protect you. I never thought the person hurting you most would be me. Those guys who bullied you, I found them one by one and reported them to the school. They're packing their bags now. Of course, Cameron and I are facing disciplinary action too. I don't know if hearing that makes you happy. I shook my head and pulled my arm free. Miranda, happy or not, your affairs have nothing to do with me anymore. Miranda laughed self-deprecatingly. You're right. Your world is big. It was my heart that was too small. She tried one last time. Ethan, are we really done? I know we can't go back to being lovers, but we're still family, aren't we? We. Miranda, I interrupted her. Do you know when I was most disappointed in you? Was it the day I was bullied and you hung up the phone? I shook my head. No. It wasn't the phone call. It was afterward. When you said if I didn't accept Cameron, you wouldn't accept me. I know why you said that. It's because you thought I couldn't leave you. You relied on that to bully me. I watched Miranda's face turn pale. She stepped forward as if to stop me from saying the next sentence. But I said it anyway. Miranda, there is no going back. Not to romance, not to family, not to the friendship of our childhood. I finished the long string of sentences. Miranda stood there, dazed. My roommates, who had been waiting nearby in case I needed help, suddenly cheered. Wyatt rushed over and hugged me. The others followed. I looked at their tearful, joyful faces in confusion. Ethan. You just spoke. It was so smooth. I suddenly realized it. That entire speech, I hadn't paused word by word. I hadn't repeated a syllable. I smiled, relieved. I put my arms around my roommates, and we walked forward together into the evening breeze. For a moment, I felt like I was back in that summer when I was 9. I heard my own voice. He said, Miranda, go on by yourself. I'm not going with you. Miranda, goodbye.